Jason Gilbo here at Fantasy Football Cafe, taking a look at the Dallas Cowboys for a few minutes. DeMarco Murray out with the Eagles, Dez Bryant signed his long-term deal, and Joseph Randle, the leading number one back coming into the season. Everything's put away. We don't have to worry about anything, and get ready to go here. Tony Romo was the most efficient quarterback in the NFL last season, and that was on 476 attempts, ranking 31st in passing attempts in the league. The stable running game, DeMarco Murray just being a workhorse, really took away from Romo's attempts, but it didn't stop Romo from putting in a top 10 fantasy quarterback season. So also having Dez Bryant helps out quite a bit. The running game's been a hot topic over the offseason, so I'm going to jump right into that. Dallas putting in confidence with that top offensive line in the NFL, adding the duo of Joseph Randle and Darren McFadden. Randle's the guy. I don't see McFadden having any value here coming into the season. He's never gotten anything going behind that offensive line out in Oakland, which he was, outperformed by plenty of the backs behind him, so you can't really put any blame on the line there. Even when he's healthy, he just hasn't gotten anything going. So I do like Joseph Randle. I believe a nice 1,000-yard season, 6-7 touchdowns is a pretty safe projection for him this year. And you're going to see a much more balanced offense, I believe. The attempts are obviously going to come up in the passing game, which I'll talk about a little bit. And Randall's not going to see the ball 300-plus times, over the course of the season. So the Randall hype has upped his draft position quite a bit over the offseason here. Snake drafts, he may be reached among 12-team leagues just because of the lack of, star running backs. Not that he's a star running back, but there's a pretty steep drop-off after, the top 7 or 8 go. But, with guys like Melvin Gordon, Latavius Murray, and then you got some slightly riskier picks like Garrett Blount and Rashad Jennings around, I'm not really kicking myself if I miss Randall in the mid rounds there. So I'm a bigger fan of the passing game in Dallas. I think the NFC East is slightly underrated in quarterbacks, mainly just more so Eli Manning and Tony Romo. Both are just top 10 quarterbacks in fantasy. Projections of 4,000 yards, 30-ish touchdowns. You just have to really like that at their ADP. And I'm sitting back and drafting Eli Manning all day. Got him for $5 in an auction league yesterday. I will take that, and stack up on running backs and wideouts. So jumping back to the Cowboys here, Romo is going to throw the ball slightly more. Has one of the best wideouts in the league. And it's got Jason Witten, nice tight end, really good offensive line. It's going to keep him protected. And how can you not believe Dez Bryant can top last year? 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns. I believe we could see an even bigger fantasy year from him. More attempts. He's going to probably surpass 100 receptions, which he's been close but hasn't yet to do in his 2 seasons in the NFL. Touchdowns could be tough to top, but I believe he can actually be on par with that 16. I think you can probably see him within the 12 to 16 range. Would really be tough and be quite amazing if he went over even higher. Like I said, more attempts. You're taking away Murray in the red zone, and that's going to be more touchdowns for Jason Witten and Dez Bryant in the red zone. So you got to like that there. Looking at Terrence Williams, got some small buzz here. No more than a wide receiver 3, and I think that's even pushing it coming into the season. I think 600 yards, 7 touchdowns is probably where we're going to see him at. Splitting time with Cole Beasley there. But I think Witten, Randall, Bryant are going to be the offensive go-to guys. So Witten, really a guy I like under the radar for this season. No Murray, going to give him some looks in the red zone. He's not going to be blocking so much, which he did a ton of last year. I really see him surpassing Martellus Bennett, who's ranked just ahead of him by a little bit, and possibly even Greg Olsen now with Funchess cutting into his targets just a little bit, and Cam Newton is not a stable quarterback. So I think Witten, you could see him definitely sneak up into the top 5 by the end of the season for fantasy tight ends. So really a lot to like about this Cowboys offense, and I am a big fan of the passing game.